Hi guys, so this week's video is going to be a flip through of my Inktober complete sketchbook. Now I'm going to be brutally honest and say I did fall behind. I fell behind by about 5 days, so I just needed November 1st to catch up with Inktober, and I'm so glad that I did that because having a complete sketchbook just makes me happy. So starting off with day one is the theme of Swift. It's my character Nicholas swiftly wielding his sword. So day 2 is Daphne with the theme Divided. Now for anybody who knows my characters, you will know that Daphne is a very tragic character. In the main story, she died, but in this particular version, she is writing to her brother on how they will never see each other and they are divided. The next theme is Poison. Now, all of my pieces are character-based, and for those of you who don't know my characters, maybe this might be the thing that makes you go, oh, I want to find out more about this character, or I want to find out what happens. What is the story behind this? So I will link my website down below with all my character information if you want to find out about that. Either way, this is part of my character Nicholas's story. Now in his story, his father actually ends up dead, but how he ends up dead we don't know. But some sources might say that his wife, or Nicholas's mother, killed Nicholas's father. Who knows? It's that lingering question of did she or didn't she? Day 4 was the theme of Underwater. Now this was more or less a redraw of a piece that I previously did for Inktober in 2015. Pretty much 2 years, almost to the day. So this is Inktober 2015, and you can see that it has a very similar sort of composition. This one was done with ink and watercolour, whereas this one was done with just ink and also using dip pens as well. So it was very intricately done, whereas this one I feel like has a bit more clumsiness to it. I still like the effect of the watercolour with the ink though. It still is effective, but I feel like it's improved, especially with the pose and the composition. It feels a lot more natural. Day 5 is Long. In this respect, I took it in a way that you could interpret being his long hair, or that the fact that his family name and the tradition that his family name holds in my backstories and my OCs. Day 6 is Sword. Now I'm not 100% convinced on this particular piece. Some people like it. I'm not convinced on the composition personally, but I still like the way it came out. I think the intricate work of the dip pen is really, really nice, and obviously it's something that I need to improve on. I haven't used a dip pen since college, and in college I was really bad at using it to the point where I ripped up half the paper that I was drawing on. So the fact that I managed to use it this time around and actually get some good results in Inktober, I actually feel like I succeeded. So day 7 was Shy. I decided to do some well-needed Jemba artwork. This is so adorable. Now Jalal is incredibly shy, and when around Ember he's even more shy. Ember belongs to my friend Jenna. Essentially, when I went to London, it was like Jemba in real life. Day 8 is Crooked. Now, I actually revealed on a live stream earlier this year that one of my characters is actually bi, and he always questions himself. He was always on the edge, nobody really knew about him, and I shocked everybody just by saying, oh, Rocco is bi. So with the theme of Crooked, I wanted to have that sense of Rocco having emotions and feelings. Now, Rocco is supposed to be this tough guy, but in Inktober, I really wanted to bring out his softer side so people could actually see it. So basically, it's like the opposite personality, AU. So day 9 is my character Hide having a meltdown because the theme was Screech. With my characters, they kind of embody some of my personality traits and also sometimes how I act in real life. And this mimics me having a meltdown about how much work I have to do with university. It's definitely something like, oh, I'm unorganized, my room is a mess, everything's going wrong, help me. Hide is a perfectionist like me, and I just thought this would be a great opportunity to just draw one of my characters having a meltdown. Day 10 is Gigantic. Gigantic was kind of difficult to come up with, and then all of a sudden I had this one idea that I could do, and it was of my OC Ruby. Now, my character Ruby actually is like a pop star, so I kind of thought, oh, what is Gigantic? A billboard, so like an advertisement or a poster. And I thought that could be a really cool idea. And you can kind of see how massive it is with a little Ruby down there. Day 11 is Run. Now, I actually wanted this piece of artwork to be a prequel to a piece that I did last year for Inktober called Jump. Now, obviously, there's Run and then Jump. So in 2016, I did a picture called Jump, and this is actually day 10 of Inktober, whereas this is day 11 of this year. I thought this would be a really cool piece to have as a prequel because it shows the colour variation and the difference between the castle and the actual outside of the castle. It also matches because of the colour of the sky. So the sky is like this orange colour in this piece, and you can see this warm orange glow. So she is actually heading for a window to jump out of. I really like how in this one I incorporated the number. Now, I've tried to incorporate the number and possibly the word here and there throughout this year, but it's been really difficult, and some pieces have succeeded, other pieces have completely failed, are completely obvious, or just didn't want to work in the first place. So I just said to myself, as long as you can actually finish a piece alongside a word, it's okay. It doesn't really need the number or the word inside of it, but if you can fit it in, that's great. So day 12 is Shattered. Now, everybody knew that this was going to be Mirror before I had even posted anything or done anything about Inktober. They saw the Inktober prompts, they messaged me and was like, day 12 is Mirror because it's Shattered. Of course it's going to be Mirror. So I did this picture of Mirror. The one thing I really wish about this picture is that the composition could be better on this one. I'm always looking for ways to improve, and as an artist, I am my own worst critic, and I think that's true for a lot of artists. They are their own worst critics, even though some people could go, oh, I love this piece, it's the best one you've ever made. it's really what the artist thinks of it at the end of the day. That's all that matters. Day 13 is teaming. I had no idea what I was going to do for this theme whatsoever. So I kind of thought, well, teaming would mean that it's like a lot of something. So I kind of thought, oh, it could be Reese making cupcakes in the kitchen, and it's teaming with cupcakes or teaming with treats or something. And I thought that would be a really, really cool thing to imply. Day 14 is Fierce. Now this is a relatively new character. Her name is Isla, and she would actually be Nicholas's daughter. Nicholas is the character with the big red cape, if you're unsure of who he is. I recently just introduced him in a recent video, so if you want to go see who he is, then I will leave a link somewhere on this video, or maybe in the description as well. Day 15 is actually Mysterious, and it's Skylar, because I feel like she is the most mysterious of my characters. So day 16 is Fat. Now this is my character Rosanna. She was also introduced in the same video as Nicholas in the second part of that video. Now Rosanna has always dealt with bullying. She's always been called fat, and Rosanna is probably the most like me of all of my characters put together. She is completely my personality. She is an artist herself, and I relate to her the most on pretty much every level. In high school, when you get labelled as something, I feel this piece is a very powerful piece, and every time I look at this particular Inktober day, it makes me remember high school. It makes me feel how I felt in high school in a drawing. And please excuse all the sniffing and snivelling, because I currently am just coming off the back end of a cold, and it's really bad. So day 17 is Graceful. Now compared to the last piece, it's not as good. I know that right off the bat. This character is Vanessa, and she would be Isla's mother and Nicholas's wife, and I thought that she would be really, really pretty to actually do for Graceful. While I was doing this piece, I actually got the day right. I actually thought, oh, it's the 17th. And then when I looked back on the live stream, I thought, oh wait, I got the date wrong. It's the 16th. So I changed the day, not knowing that I got it right the first time. And so I had to correct it again. So you can kind of see how much of a mess that number looks down there. I think I tried to mask it as best as I could, but still, I made it look a mess. Day 18 is Filthy. I kind of wanted to take this theme in a particularly cute way, so I kind of thought, what's more cute than a child covered in paint or like art supplies, just having fun with their supplies and stuff. And I thought Melissa would definitely do that. Melissa would get absolutely covered in paint when she was using it, in her hair, all over her face, on her dress, everything. So day 19 is Cloud. Now this piece is of Bethany, and I had no idea what to do for Cloud either. There was a lot of really, really hard themes this year, and I had no idea what I was supposed to do for some of them. And it's really, really sparkly, and I don't know if you can see it, but it's very, very subtle. There's like some sparkling up here. It's incredibly hard to see, but in real life it's like a little bit subtly sparkly all the way up here as well. I thought that a cloud could be a cloud of smoke. A genie appears from a cloud of smoke. And since Bethany is a genie, I thought, why not that happen? Day 20 is deep. Didn't know what to do for this one either, so I actually got suggestions from my live stream chat, and this was probably the longest amount of time I've spent on an Inktober piece so far. It was really, really long. It took like 4 to 5 hours, because most pieces, they took on average about 3 to 4 hours. This one was longer because of the amount of detail and the amount of time it took to do each layer of ink, because I really watered down the ink like watercolour and just built it up over several layers. Now it's supposed to be a picture of crystal caverns. Now this could either be interpreted as Jalal and Ember, or it could be Nicholas and Vanessa. I think it's more so Nicholas and Vanessa, but it could be interpreted as just a prince and a princess, or just a couple exploring the crystal caverns. So this one is day 21 and it's Furious. I wanted to do a picture of Dragon Jalal and this one was really difficult to get right, because I really wanted a sense of impact and a sense of like movement, even though it was a very stable composition. So adding those speed lines and adding that dramatic zoom in to his face, I feel like definitely that helped. I actually added the number of the day in his hairband. If you can see, it's very, very little. His powers took over and you can kind of tell. Day 22, the theme was Trail. Now I had a really cute idea for this one. Reese and Rocco actually go to play in the forest with their big sister, Rosanna, and they just play all day, and I thought it was really, really sweet. And I think one of the games that they would play is hide and seek. I kind of thought they would go down a nature trail and then play hide and seek in the woods. So day 23 was actually Juicy. Now this is Nicholas and Vanessa's daughter, Isla, and this character was actually made by people of my live stream chat. His name is Skipper, and he's really adorable. He's a really cute butterfly prince. Having a picnic together, I thought it was a really cute idea, so why not? So day 24 is Blind. I actually have a blind character, and this is her. This is Skylar. I thought that it would be cool to just have her be the center of attention for this one. I really wanted to focus on her eyes because the whole point of the theme was blind. For the background, I had no idea what I wanted to do for it, so I actually had this idea from when I was doing some of my university work that I could actually stamp one of those ink pads that you use for stamping onto this, and it would create a very textured and overlapping effect. So I thought that could be really, really cool to do, and I did that. So day 25 was the theme of ship, and what better to draw for this theme than the ship that was created on one of my live stream chats. Rocco and Christian. I think Christian mostly belongs to Sketchy Cass, and look at them, so cute. I thought that this would be a really, really cute idea to do, and I did actually reference a couple of pictures from Google for this one because I had no idea on what kind of pose I wanted them to be in. day 26. This was actually done half on the train and half at Jenna's house while I was staying there over the weekend. It took a long time because I had no idea what I was getting myself in for with Inktober and also being somewhere else completely new to me. So you can see that there's some gold accents and there's a blue background, and also it's just mainly black and white. This one's sort of the same, but there's a little bit more colour with the red there as well. So this one is for the theme of climb. It's for Hide and his siblings. His siblings are climbing all over him, and I think it's so cute. Day 28 is fall, and I kind of thought that this one could be a really, really cute one with Nicholas falling in love with Vanessa. I've done a lot of pictures of Vanessa and Nicholas during this Inktober, and that's mainly because the whole creation of Vanessa and Isla and that whole world around Nicholas definitely happened last month, and I'm coming off that whole character creation high that I just want to draw them all the time. So that's why you see them a lot during Inktober. You see the shininess of their crowns. It's so cute. Day 29 is United. Now, day 2 was Divided, and this one is United. Now, in Divided, Daphne thought that Jalal would never get her letter. Never, ever. And I thought that it would be really, really cute if Jalal gets all of her letters and he keeps all of them in a pile on his desk. And he kind of says to himself that one day we will be united again, but currently we are united through letters. I think that's so cute and so adorable. Day 30 is Found. I thought that mirror could be used again. You can see that it's shiny and it's glittery. Oh, there's so much like glitter. It's so nice. But this is for Found, and I kind of thought that it'd be a really cool idea to have her being found inside the mirror. We don't know who by. That's the mystery. But she is found inside the mirror. Day 31 is Mask. Mask I thought would be a good idea to do like some flower over the face art again. Kind of like how I did an illustration called Forget Me Not of Loki with flowers over her eyes. And I kind of thought that this would be a cool concept to do for Skylar. I wanted her to be somewhat in a pose that it would look as if she's lying in a coffin, and they've covered her eyes with lilies, which is the flower of death. So when choosing the flower to draw for Skylar, I actually chose the lily. I chose it because it is the flower of death, and Skylar is actually dead. She is more or less a ghost kind of character, so I thought that lilies would be a good match for her. I had no idea whether I wanted to add like a purple wash over them, and I feel like the wash came out just a tad bit too strong, but either way, I really like it. I think it's pretty, and also, I don't know if you can see it, but like there's a very, very subtle, even more subtle than like on day 19, with the blue glitter, there's like a sparkle effect. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed doing Inktober. Inktober is my favourite art challenge of the year. So if you like this video, you can click the like button, maybe even possibly subscribe. Only if you want to though. And tell me down in the comments, did you do Inktober? Did you finish it? Did you give up halfway through? It's fine if you did, because I can completely understand why some people would just stop halfway through or just don't even complete it entirely, because it is quite a challenge to keep up with it, and once you fall behind with it, it's really hard to catch up. But I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!